I'm back again to answer your burning sex questions on Reddit. I do this for you guys. I dive deep into the bowels of Reddit in order to help answer some of these questions you guys have, with the idea that probably more than one person has these questions. I try to pick non-specific ones, but anyway, today we are going to be answering your burning sex questions from Reddit, because I am a sex coach and that is what I do. So let's do this. Yeah. Alright, first question. Me and my boyfriend's sex is too vanilla and I don't like it. That sucks, but we're gonna figure out how to fix this, okay? Personally, during sex, I like hearing the person I'm with. It really turns me on. I have a lot of different kinks and there are tons of things I want my boyfriend to do, but every time I get him to do any of them, he doesn't get into it like he used to, and it's not a turn on. I tried telling him that I needed more, but I don't know if my words got through to him. What can I do? Yeah, you gotta talk to them. You gotta tell them what you want during sex. That way they can do it for you. If you don't talk about these things, then you can't expect your partner to ever do the things that you truly want or desire. If this is something that your partner used to be doing, which sounds like they used to be doing it fine, and then all of a sudden they're just like not doing it and they're maybe bored with it, then they possibly have either something going on within themselves that is out of your control, and in that case you need to talk about that and see what is going on. Communication that's how you fix anything in a relationship, is by talking about it, being open-minded and receptive to what your partner is saying, and then doing those things that you're listening to and you know what they want. Or it could be a thing that they're not into it because it's become stale to them and they're bored and they need some sort of variety, or they need some new situation to kind of get them excited to do these things for you. And maybe they feel like they're doing these things for you, but they're not getting anything out of it. There's no benefit for it. So that's just something you need to talk about. You need to vary things, add variety to keep it interesting so that your partner will not just be bored and feel like it's not going anywhere. The other thing I will say is the more you react to what your partner is doing, the more it will encourage them to keep doing that. So if you like what they're doing, but you're not giving them any cues that you like what they're doing, like if they're dirty talking with you but you're not moaning any differently or breathing any differently or saying that you like what they're doing, then yeah, there's not going to be any motivation or drive for them to do anything differently than what they are doing, or they might even stop doing what they're doing because they're not getting any positive feedback. So just give them something. Dirty talk goes both ways. You want to give it and you also want to receive it, and so give them something back, something that's going to reward them for doing the stuff that you like. But going all the way back, the main thing is to communicate with your partner and get these things out in the open, and that's how you're going to have better relationships and better sex. Question number 2. I'm constantly horny and it's starting to get distracting. Okay. I mean, I'd say I'm an okay looking person, but it's been months since I got laid last. Since around Christmas, I've noticed that I began to become increasingly more horny. I tried masturbating, but it doesn't really help. And they go on to say that they want to make more hookups happen because they're horny all the time. And they also say in there that they're watching porn. And to me, I'm thinking, how many times do I have to reiterate that porn causes a lot of bad things? So, this person's extremely horny, they're distracted, they can't get anything done. What are they going to do about it? Masturbation doesn't work, and they just want to hook up. Well, for one, I will say that hooking up will not solve your problems sexually. Ever. Hooking up is not a good idea for anyone, psychologically speaking, or just sexual quality speaking. A casual hookup will never ever provide you with as good of a sexual experience or as fulfilling of a sexual experience than one with a relationship, with a partner, someone that you know and trust and are there together. If it's just with some stranger, You will never be able to completely lose yourself in that experience unless you are like a 0.001% chance of person that exists that can just do that. But for the general public, for most people, you can't just throw away your insecurities with some stranger and just be immersed in a sexual experience completely and fully, or to the extent that you could had you had sex with someone that you know and love and trust. So just getting laid is not going to solve your sexual problems, and it's not going to lead to good sex, so don't do that. The other thing that I will say is that porn will warp your mind, especially if you're a girl, into thinking that you're horny all the time. I have seen it before so many times. Porn for some reason has that effect on women. Sometimes. It's not all the time, but sometimes it has that effect where it just makes you insatiably horny, and it kind of leads you into choosing sexual partners and sexual situations that are not healthy. They are random hookups, random encounters with strangers, because that is what porn is showing. That is what porn is teaching you to like. And I will say that is not real life. That will not be satisfying to you. That will not be fulfilling to you. Sex is a highly connecting, engaging experience in which you are going to be emotionally connected to your partner. As much as you try to fight that and ignore that, it is there biologically. So it's a futile thing to try to divorce sex from that emotional component, which will lessen the sexual pleasure of that experience and also create a cognitive dissonance between your body and your mind. I guess not cognitive dissonance, a biological dissonance between your biology and your mind, which is just not going to lead to a healthy sex life. So don't hook up and do that random stuff. You know how you can cure your horniness in one fell swoop? That will be hard, I know, because I've been there, but that will be to stop watching porn, and then all your problems are solved and you can live life in amazing ecstasy all the time and never have any sexual dysfunction ever. So you heard it here. That is the solution to all your problems. Stop watching porn. Question number 3. Men and women taking orgasms out of the situation. Not saying those are enjoyable. What makes sex enjoyable to you? As the title states, what are some things that can make the overall experience enjoyable? What about those things that make the overall experience enjoyable? So, what makes good sex? It needs to be psychologically engaging, psychologically stimulating. What you do physically can only take you so far. So there needs to be something mentally that is drawing you in. And what that is the level of your engagement, your immersion, your connection to the experience, how present you are in the moment. So anything that you can do to keep yourself and your partner present, that will make enjoyable, amazing sex. And it will also kind of be amazing regardless of your physical technique and physical stimulation and whatever you're doing physically. Because the more the mind is into it, the more horny, passionate, engaged you are, the better anything physically will feel, and you won't really care about the physical feeling because you just want to be having sex at that point once you get to that level. So that makes enjoyable sex, mentally engaging, mentally stimulating sex. How do you do this? You dirty talk, you communicate with your partner, find out what they like so that you can do those things during sex, but you dirty talk, you spend more time in the arousal phase, so more foreplay, more passion, more attentiveness, generosity to your partner. Do all these things. Keep the dirty talk going the whole time. Encourage your partner to dirty talk back by asking them questions that they can engage in during the experience that will keep them in the moment, present, extremely turned on, passionate, and that will be extremely enjoyable. And that's how you do it. Question number 4. Should I tell my boyfriend I think his dick is perfect? I have been with my boyfriend for 5 months, and on at least 3 occasions, he has casually told me that his dick is small. I do not say anything because I know that is something delicate for a man, and I don't know what he is expecting me to say. Like, I think he's average. He was my first, and I have nothing to compare it to, but for me, his dick is perfect. I really love it, and I don't want him to feel insecure about it. Should I tell him? Wouldn't that be weird? So, The reason he is telling you that his dick is small is because he is insecure about his penis size. And so therefore, yes, anything you can do to remove that insecurity will be better for him and for you, because the sex will get better. If your partner is not concerned about the size of their penis because they're not insecure, because you're telling them that it's amazing, it's perfect, then let me tell you, he will be way more confident in that sexual experience and really go at it. He'll have more passion. He'll be more into it. That will get you more into it, so your sex life will improve. Who doesn't like compliments? Especially that when men are bombarded by basically all forms of media and porn and everything in society that penis size is the end-all be-all of sexual pleasure. And if you have a below-average penis, then too bad. I guess your sex will never be good, ever. But this is not true, because sexual pleasure and quality comes more from the psychological factors, the level at which you're stimulated and aroused and horny, than it does from the physical components and whatever you can do with your penis. If you think about it, you can get a girl off with just touching their clit. You don't need to penetrate at all. Also, you can get a girl off with fingers. I know it's different because you can move your fingers in different ways, but the fingers are smaller usually than a penis, so it just goes to show you that size is not that important when it comes to having great sex. The more important thing is basically how you use it, and how you use it is you stimulating your partner's mind through dirty talk, through more of the arousal phase of sex, so more time spent during foreplay, teasing, building up to that moment. That is how you have better sex. But going back to the whole penis size thing, yes, tell him, give him compliments, tell him during the experience, tell him after the experience. The more you can reduce insecurities, especially if you know that these are things that they are insecure about, the better your sex will be, and the better sex you can provide to your partner, because they will be able to lose themselves to the experience, feel open and free to be themselves and be present in that experience. That will be awesome. Trust me. Fifth and final question here. Does masturbation, I guess that's nasty masturbation, right? Okay. Anyway, does masturbation for a guy tend to suck a more or less when you're a virgin? I ask this because, as an older virgin who's been masturbating for 5 years, I noticed after the first year of doing it, pleasure has died, and it just turned into an annoying habit that's hard to stop, and whenever I finish, I feel a, ugh, I had sex with myself again and not another person kind of feeling. So I'm curious if this kind of feeling is mostly exclusive to virgins, and if after having sex will lessen these kinds of feelings. Sounds to me like you need to find a partner that you can have sex with. And it sounds to me like if you are not enjoying masturbation, then don't do it. Especially if it is a compulsory thing where you can't stop and it feels like an obligation that you have to, then definitely try to cut it out and see where that takes you. Listen, the more you masturbate, the less likely you are to have the drive and motivation to meet someone in person in order to have real sex. So especially if masturbation is not exciting to you and you are trying to find real life sex so that you can enjoy that sexual experience, then the more masturbation you do is just detracting you from ever finding that. Especially if it's a compulsory habit or addiction that you are on the brink of. So definitely take a break from masturbation. I haven't masturbated in years. I don't need it, I feel. And so I don't think that everyone needs it, and I don't think it's this amazing thing that people need to do all the time. That's just my opinion and my thought of it. I've had several people that I've helped move toward that direction of no masturbation, only real life sex, and it seems to work fine for them too. So don't think that masturbation is this essential thing that you need to do to find yourself sexually and figure out who you are. I am sure you have done enough masturbation already to know that, so you don't need it in your life. Get rid of it, especially if it is compulsory, especially if you are doing it with porn at the same time. Porn is not a good thing. I don't know how many times I have to say that, but porn sucks. Stop watching porn. Stop doing anything if it's a compulsion, if it's an addiction. get control over your brain. However healthy your brain is basically how healthy your life will be. So get that sorted out. If you have any compulsory behaviors that are maladaptive, that you feel are detracting from your well-being, get rid of them, because then you'll be better. So I hope you enjoyed my analysis and my answering of these burning sex questions on Reddit. I try to do as much as I can to help you guys, because I just want you guys to have the best sex and the healthiest lives and relationships you can possibly have. So if you enjoyed this, do me a favor, subscribe, because that is the best thing you can possibly do for your sex life, honestly, because I'm putting out daily content, daily sexual videos that are designed to help you in a deeper way than just do this crazy sexual technique and you win. So anyway, thank you so much for watching, especially if you made it to the end of this video. I appreciate it so much. Hope to see you in the next video. Bye, guys.